because I am.
How did
All
you
right.
do the intro? You normally... Are we starting now? Okay. Hi, this is Jess.
Hi, and this is Kim.
And we're the girls from I Want to Be Different. And so I'm introing today because God put something on my heart a few weeks back. And don't mind Kim, she's flipping through her Bible.
I am. I'm trying to get on the same page as you are.
And so we are just coming today and going to Genesis chapter 27. And it's, for those who know the Bible, it's where Isaac has become an old man and he's about ready to bless his eldest son. His name is Esau. For those of you who aren't necessarily familiar, I'll try to outline it a little bit. There's two brothers, and Esau is the eldest. He is Isaac's favorite, so to say. He's the hunter. I think, as I've said before in another video, he's the man's man. And so he really had a little bit of a favoritism towards him. And then there's Jacob, who is his mom's favorite. He's the baby of the family. And so his mom favored him. And so they kind of each have their favorite. So Isaac's going to bless his eldest son, which is normal. And so he says, hey, I'm getting old, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to pick up and read here. When Isaac had become an old man and was nearly blind, he called his eldest son Esau and said, my son. And he said, yes, father, I'm an old man. I may die any day now. So do me a favor and get your quiver of arrows and your bow and go into the country and hunt me some game. Then fix it up for me, the way you know I like it, and bring it to me so I can give you my personal blessing before I die. Rebekah, that's the mom, she was eavesdropping as Isaac spoke to the son Esau. As soon as Esau had gone off to the country to hunt the game for his father, Rebekah spoke to her son Jacob. I just overheard your father talking with your brother Esau. He said, bring me some game and fix me a hearty meal so that I can eat and bless you with God's blessing before I die. Now, my son, listen to me. Do what I tell you. Go to the flock, get the 2 young goats, pick the best, and I'll prepare them into a hearty meal, the kind your father loves, and then you can take it to your father. He'll eat it, and he's going to bless you before he dies. And he says, but mother, Jacob says, my brother Esau is hairy, and I have smooth skin. What happens if my father touches me? He'll think I'm playing a game with him. I'll bring down a curse on myself instead of a blessing. And she says, if it comes to that, I'll take the curse on myself. Now just do what I say. Go and get the goats. So he went and got them and brought them back, and she cooked them the way that his father liked. And so Rebekah took the dress-up clothes of her older son Esau and put them on her younger son. She took the goat skin and covered his hands and smoothed on the nape of his neck. And then she placed the hearty meal she had fixed and fresh bread she'd baked into the hands of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said, my father. Yes, he said, which son are you? Jacob answered his father, I am your firstborn son Esau. I did what you told me. Now come now, sit up and eat some game so you can give me your personal blessing. And Isaac said, so soon? How did you get it so quickly? Because your God cleared the way for me. Isaac said, come close, son, and let me touch you so that I can really know that you're Esau. So Jacob moved close to his father. Isaac felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are hands of Esau. He didn't recognize him because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau. But he was about to bless him, and he pressed him and said, you're sure you're my son Esau? And he said, yes, I am. So really the part of that I wanted to highlight that God brought to my attention was Rebekah's part in that. I don't think I had ever really thought about her part. You know, you just think this kid is just, wow, he really messed up in a way because he took his brother's blessing. Yeah. He was deceitful in this whole thing. And there's more to this story and other parts, but I want to just focus in on this part. And I just think that what God showed me was that Rebekah had a part to play in that, and that she was eavesdropping. It literally said she was listening in where she shouldn't have been. And then she took action on that. And she said she would take the curse, and she basically told her son what to do. Yeah. And so it just brought to my attention of just, number one, as parents, what you can speak into your child's life. You have the power to speak blessing or curses. And so just to be mindful of that, I mean, she really did. I mean, she changed a lot. She changed a whole blessing.
Yeah.
And so just being careful of that, and then also just being careful of who you're listening to, because Jacob played a part in that too. And that he listened. And granted, I know it was his mom.
Right.
But I'm just trying to take that out of maybe that context and say, you know, I know whenever I was younger, I was listening to a lot of my teenage friends.
Yep.
And, you know, who were saying, well, let's go do this, let's do this, let's do that. And it led to a lot of drugs, a lot of things that I shouldn't have been in. And because I was listening to what everyone else was saying and what everyone else said was cool. And I wasn't really listening to what God had for me.
Right.
And so I missed out on an opportunity at that point in time to do what God had called me to do in that time in my life. And like I've said it before, God always turns it around for good. He always makes things good. You mess up, and He gives you grace, and He gives you mercy, and He loves you no matter what. Does He love what you do? No, but not always. But He loves you, and so the point was just to be careful about who you're listening to. Be careful about what you're saying. You know, if somebody tells you something, and you know it's not something you should be in on or hearing about or whatever, can you just have the respect and just the wisdom to not go tell everybody what you just heard?
Right.
So I just...
If somebody's confiding in you like that. I actually, I told Jess that I spoke that she had told me about this, and I actually, that same night, I believe, I actually told my daughter about it because I thought it was a great word because of the situations that we were going through at home. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and it's easy at that time to just for them to just take on the conversations of all of their friends that are around them, and not realizing that in the long run that, you know, engaging in that and allowing those people to speak into their lives and tell them what to do, what not to do, what's best for them and what's not best for them. Because a lot of times nowadays teenagers are telling other teenagers that they don't need their parents. And that was a shocker to me, you know, just something that I learned as a mother of a teenage daughter. So, I mean, I thought that message was very important. And I like what you said about parents. What we say is so important in our children's life. The examples that we set, the decisions that we make. I was thinking about, because we always talk about things that are going on in our lives now that we're dealing with, and we always look back and we remember and say, you know what, man, that was going on when I was younger. I didn't see my mother do this, or I saw my dad do this, or I didn't see my parents do that, or I was around a lot of women that were, you know, just very boisterous and domineering and things of that nature. So all of what we say, this is really good, all of what we say, it affects the future of those that are around us. And I think just as people of God, that we have a responsibility to stand up and recognize that there are people following us. There are people listening to us.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So I hope that did encourage you all today. And I hope that just within the next week, my goal for you, or my challenge would be, is just to watch, what are you saying? What are you repeating?
Yes.
What are you encouraging?
Man, that's good.
And so just to be mindful of that. It's really, it seems simple, but you might find that it's harder than what you think it is.
Yeah.
So we'll be praying for you ladies, and we just have a great week.
Yes.
We just encourage you.
Enjoy. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.